Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, welcome back to the Baseball Head too, and hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. This is the channel you want to follow all the rumors. I will dig for every rumor on every team in Major League Baseball. This is from Sportsnot.com. Headline: Baltimore Orioles reportedly may have a slight advantage and trade talks for our top starting pitcher. Baltimore Orioles rumors this summer have connected the club to top arms like Chrochet, Jesus Luzardo, and Jose Quintana. That's interesting. With the Major League Baseball trade deadline approaching, Baltimore might have a small advantage in the trade negotiations this summer. Isn't that interesting? While Baltimore's farm system is outstanding, with some of the Orioles' top prospects viewed as future stars, there's another edge that the front office holds. The young players in the minor leagues are well known at this point, but teams planning to sell have spent several weeks on scouting trips to see the young Oriole prospects. Okay? During the winter, Baltimore engaged in trade talks with the Marlins for Luzardo. While the Marlins no longer have high-end starting pitchers available this summer with Luzardo on the injured list, they can offer several hitters and relievers. If Baltimore wants a frontline starter, they'll have to look to a team like the White Sox. The Baltimore Orioles rotation stats, according to Fangraphs, they have a 3.28 ERA, second in Major League Baseball, 15.5% K to walk rate, 15th in baseball, 230 batting average allowed, 5th in Major League Baseball, a 1.17 whip, 4th in Major League Baseball. As highlighted by Robert Murray of Fansided, there's important context to remember in potential trade talks between the Orioles and the White Sox is their recent history. Baltimore and Chicago had numerous discussions this winter about a Dylan Cease trade. While the deal never materialized, the White Sox know the farm system well and which of the Orioles' top prospects they like. Now, I would mention when you get closer to the trade deadline, the buyers tend to pull the trigger more quickly than they would if it was the offseason. Because then they get to a point where they're going to win it. And I made plenty of predictions. The Orioles are going to the World Series. Familiarity with an opposing team's farm system matters. It's also an edge the Padres have since they acquired Cease from the White Sox. While Chicago scouts will take more in-person looks at the Orioles prospects, the info they already have is enough to start a dialogue on a trade. Interesting. That's very interesting. One undeniable risk with Chrochet is his workload. After undergoing Tommy John surgery in 2022, he has already done a career-high 101.1 innings before the All-Star break. Facing a much bigger workload than ever before, the 25-year-old southpaw will need a lightened workload in the second half of the season. If the Orioles acquire Chrochet, it would leave the team in a position where it might have to move him to the bullpen in September. And I don't know. I mean, if you're going to move all these players and you're going to put the guy in the bullpen, it seems like the cost is too high, and they need starting pitching help. Considering Chicago's asking price, the potential of having to pull Chrochet from the playoff rotation could convince Baltimore to explore alternatives. I don't think they're a perfect fit for him. They need a guy for their rotation, a guy that's going to take the ball every fifth day, and then you can put him in the bullpen in October. Not a guy that you're going to put in September. He's not going to help them. I don't see this. This is not a good fit to me. I don't know what you think. Leave that in the comments section. All right, this section we'll talk about, and this is from CBSSports.com, the Angels and the Reds. First up will be the Angels. This is what they have to say. Angels listing on Estevez. As expected, the Angels are listening to offers for rental closer Carlos Estevez, reports Fansided. Estevez has been terrific this year, pitching to a 3.00 ERA with 27 strikeouts and 3 walks in 27 innings. 2 of those 3 walks were intentional, too. Estevez is owed the balance of his $6.75 million salary, so he's very affordable, and he's a bat misser with high leverage experience. The Angels will have no trouble finding a suitor. They mentioned the Mets, and it is very likely Estevez will be dealt before the deadline. Well, we'll see. He's probably going to get moved. The Angels are so bad. And the Mets will certainly be in on all these big relievers, that's for sure. Now the Cincinnati Reds are in an interesting spot. Interesting. They can't decide whether they're buyers or sellers. Thursday afternoon, the Reds will look to complete a 3-game sweep, which they did. They swept the Yankees in New York. They entered the day 3.5 games out of the wild card spot with 5 teams ahead of them. and GM Brad Meter recently said the club is still undecided on its deadline approach. They could buy or they could sell Cincinnati's 42-45 despite a plus 17 run differential. Quote, we have to wait and see how we finish off this road trip and the homestand coming up, and then we'll see, Meter told the Cincinnati Enquirer. We're talking about it. We'd love to be able to add, but realistically, we'll probably just have to see how it goes. Following the Yankees series, the Reds will play the Tigers, Rockies, and Marlins leading into the All-Star break. So they can play pretty well against these teams. That's a favorable schedule and a chance to stack wins before the deadline. If the Reds buy, bullpen help and an outfielder will be on the shopping list. If they sell, rental arms like Frankie Montas, Lucas Sims, and Brent Suter would be obvious trade candidates. Suter will get a lot of teams in on him, including the New York Mets. Just so you know, any team that needs a lefty, and most of the playoff teams could use another lefty. Suter will definitely fill that bill, that's for sure. And finally in this video, the New York Yankees. The Yankees obviously have been playing very poorly. They have not won a series in 6 series in a row, and they lost the opening game against their rival Red Sox on Friday. Clay Holmes is one of the worst. He's one of the worst closers in baseball. The guy he's not any good. He has these moments, but then he blows it, and when he blows it big. I laughed my ass off last year when he blew that 5-run lead in Miami last year. I thought that was one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time on the field. Totally screwed up, but Yankees have not been playing well. But the people, still writing articles. Media people still writing articles talking about how the Yankees need to make a blockbuster trade. They are not put together well at all, the Yankees. But this is from the SportingNews.com. Headline: Yankees could make surprise blockbuster trade for Rockies All-Star catcher. And I would mention about the Yankees farm system. When was the last time the Yankees traded a prospect that came back to bite them? Not in a very long time. And if they bite them, it's usually a little nibble for you. A little nibble. It's never like you trade a guy and the guy becomes a Hall of Famer. Very few players like that. Maybe Jay Buhner, that's the closest one. That's a long time ago. As the MLB trade deadline approaches, the Yankees have a number of needs to address, one of which may be flying under the radar. The platoon behind the play of Austin Wells and Jose Trevino has been about league average of a 683 OPS and a 97 WRC+. However, one MLB analyst thinks the Yankees could be in play to add a catcher coming off an All-Star season in 2023. Mark Feinsand of MLB.com lists the Yankees as potential suitors to trade for Colorado Rockies catcher Elias Diaz. It certainly would be an interesting move if the Yankees make a deal for him. He would be an upgrade defensively over both Wells and Trevino in terms of pop time and catching runners stealing. Trevino ranks as the better frame. I would mention about Diaz and the Rockies. Rockies take forever to make any kind of moves. They'll hold on to him too long. Diaz also would seem to provide an upgrade offensively. Though the Yankees like the upside Wells brings from the left side, the 33-year-old Diaz has a 785 OPS that includes a 349 on-base percentage in 60 games this season. As a half-year rental, he would enter free agency after the season, so there's no upside of team control for multiple years. But right now, the Yankees have a chance to end their 14-year World Series drought. If they can add the right pieces to that, may not matter as much to them. I would mention, from 2010 to 2020 to 2020, the Yankees did not go to the World Series. It's the first time they went a whole full decade and didn't go to the World Series for the first time since 1919. From 1910 to 1919 was the last time they didn't get to the World Series. That's a long time. And it's pretty damn funny. The deadline is approaching quickly, and the Yankees will be among the top teams to watch. Diaz may now be a name to monitor over the next few weeks. Oh well, we'll see. Like I said, the Yankees' situation is much deeper than making a trade for a catcher now. They have major problems around this entire team, especially with their lineup. They have 2 great players, and everybody else sucks. The shortstop's overrated. Liber Torres has taken a step back. Probably needs to change the scenery to get out of New York. They don't have a first baseman. Even before Anthony Rizzo got hurt, he was not doing that great of a job. Their outfield is in flux, to be honest with you. There's not a lot of production out of that. Verdugo has not been what he was with the Red Sox. They have no production at third base with DJ LeMahieu. People calling him DJ the ground out because he grounds out all the time. I mean, he's past his prime as an offensive player. His defense never gets old, but your offense, that usually goes first before anything else does. And they don't get much production out of their catchers. And I would mention about catching. A few weeks ago, the Red Sox stole 9 bases on Sunday Night Baseball. Be interesting to see how the Red Sox run on the bases against the Yankees, because the Red Sox have speed and they're willing to steal bases. We'll see if they do that again on a major level like they did a few weeks ago. But the Yankees had major problems. I mean, we watch them here from the other side of town, and they are a mess. And they got off to such a very strong start, and this is people comparing it to 2022. In 2022, they look like they won 130 games, and they finished with 99. But on the surface, it seemed pretty good. But the Yankees basically stopped hitting, and everybody kind of they just let Aaron Judge hit his home runs, and that was it. And I would mention at the bottom of the 10th inning, Aaron Judge had a chance to win the game for the Yankees, and he popped up on the first pitch. He was so aggressive that he popped up, and that kind of sums up where what's going on with the Yankees right now. They're not getting any luck whatsoever. Oh well, too bad, so sad. But you know what's not sad is this channel. We have a lot of fun here, making fun of things, especially the Yankees and their fans. I want to thank you for coming by, and of course, please hit the subscribe button. I will have plenty of rumors on this channel. You're gonna love this channel the next month. You're gonna have a lot of information here, and really just rumors, really. And we'll have trades, obviously, that'll be popping up. And of course, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.